Welcome to Sport Walk and welcome to the trail blog. Now there's a bit of a clue behind me as to where I am. These pillboxes, you see them a lot on this trail. It's in the Surrey Hills and it's the North Downs Way. It's really nice to be back actually, walking the North Downs Way. I haven't walked it an awful lot since childhood really. I grew up in this part of the world and the North Downs Way was my nearest national trail. But this stretch, I've not actually walked before. It's a bit of a new one for me. And I've just plotted a little route from where I parked up, just down in the valley below. And I'm keeping the high ground. I'm going to follow it all the way to Denbies Vineyard, and then I'm hoping to revisit a place that I used to despise, and that was the route of my old school cross-country course. Look, another pillbox already. There really are loads of them in this part of the trail. I remember playing around in pillboxes in the woods up from my home. In a moment, I have a feeling we're going to get a stunningly beautiful view, because over in the distance you have the Leith Hill Massif. So that's Leith Hill and Holmbury Hill. Leith Hill has that tower on top of it that they built to try and make it a mountain. I'm not sure. Too many people were convinced. A lot of the parts of the North Downs Way that I know are very different to the South Downs Way. Would you believe it? Another pillbox. This one you can actually go into if you dare. Yeah, it's a bit dark. See, there's so many pillboxes. Yeah, this session of the North Downs Way, at least, I have no idea about the sections further on from Box Hill onwards, but it's a very different beast to the South Downs Way. The trails are quite narrow for all of the time. It's kind of almost single track. You'd be almost forgiven for thinking that you weren't actually on a national trail. Here I am on my old torture trail from school. It's quite remarkable how much this place has changed. Back when we used to come up here for cross-country runs in PE from school, this was just farmers' fields. It was just farmland basically. There's a public footpath that runs through it, which I'm on now. But now it's the Denbies Wine Estate, and it really is quite something to behold. I used to really hate cross-country runs in school. Now I've got a bit more experience, a bit more knowledge, I kind of understand why, because typical school kids, the teacher would say go and we would basically sprint. So by the time we reached the trail, I don't know about anybody else, but I was absolutely busted. And there was actually a climb almost straight from the road up into Denbies. I can't quite remember what it was called then. It may have been Denbies Farm or something, I don't know, but that was a very, very, very long time ago. But I don't think I ever got as far as I am today. I seem to remember we all kind of ran off with great enthusiasm and then sort of hid in the bushes until the fast keen kids had done the loop, and then just tucked in behind them as they ran back into school. I didn't really see the point of it. In fact, I didn't really see the point of cross-country running at all when I was a kid. I can remember when they first started planting this place out, and everybody was kind of going, wine in Dorking. You know, you think of the Rhone region, you know, and all the great wines of France and stuff, and Dorking. And yet, it has proved to be an absolutely perfect spot for growing wine grapes. Who'd have thought? So let me show you around Dorking, the place I called home for my secondary school years. That's if I can remember where everything is. It's been a very long time. But I'm actually seeing in the distance Leith Hill. You can literally just see, I'm not sure if you're going to be able to make it out, you can literally just see Leith Hill Tower in a gap between the trees. And then just coming down back into Dorking itself. Now my school was roughly over there. I think I can see the council offices. Can't quite see my school because it just sits below the brow of the hill, but it's roughly in that direction. And then moving further across, you have the unmistakable outcrop of Box Hill, famed again for being part of the London 2012 Olympics. I think the climb of the road race went up there, I think it was 5 or 6 times, something like that. And then of course immediately below me you had the vineyards. And it just stretches as far as the eye can see. Right, must press on. You know, it's quite funny what I was saying earlier about the cross-country races and how everybody used to just sprint out from school because we were young and innocent and didn't know any better. But it's actually quite salient in relation to sport walking because pacing is so important. If you go out too hard, go out too fast, by the time you realise you've gone out too fast, it's kind of too late. You always want to be going well within yourself to start with. And it doesn't really matter if it's a training session or a challenge. For a challenge, of course, you need to be aware of your pacing targets and you want to stick to those quite religiously because that's what's going to get you to the end in good shape. But you want to factor in a bit of a warm-up period, a bit of a warm-up phase where you're still pushing on, but you're just got a good turnover. You're working at a rate that you know your legs and aerobic capacity can handle. Not pushing too hard, not going at it too fast. And it's the same in training. Every training session you really want to take the first couple of kilometres really quite steady. Again, not strolling, you know, it's a training session, but you just want to be very comfortable in your pace. You want to be able to carry out your pace without any stress, without any major effort. And then once you've gone a few kilometres in, that's when you can start applying the pressure, when you've warmed up a bit. Well, I'm nearly back at the car, so I hope you've enjoyed this little jaunt in the Surrey Hills on the North Downs. The Surrey Hills are really a stunningly beautiful place, and there's so much sport walking potential here. If you find yourself in this part of the UK, it is really, really well worth a visit. But anyway, enough for this one. Enjoy your sport walking. Don't forget to subscribe if you haven't already, and I'll see you again soon. Bye.